Hey everyone, Complex back with another video, and today we're back to Dragon Age and we are talking about mods again, specifically mods for Dragon Age Inquisition, and we are going to talk about my favorite mods for character customization. I know a lot of you guys had questions on my last DAI video as to what mods I'm using for my character. So today I thought I'd give you my top 6 overall that I use no matter what character I'm playing with. And then at the end, I will give you Mari, who was the inquisitor that was featured in the last video. And also this video, I'll give you the extra mods that she is using as well, just in case you'd like to use them. Now, before we dive into the mods, I do want to let you know that these should work for both male and female characters as far as I know, and that all of the mods are going to be compatible for elves, human, and dwarfs, and only the first mod that I have listed will be available for Qunari, only because the Qunnaris have a completely different set of mods that need to be used based off of the way that they're built into the game. So down the road, I will do a separate video on just my favorite Qunari mods in case any of you would like to know that as well. Also, these mods are all available on the Nexus Mods website, and I will link it in the description down below, and they are available only on PC. And today we are only going to be using the .dai mod similar to the last video, only because that is personally what I'm using right now. It makes my life a lot easier for streaming and changing mods on the fly, because to make .dai mods and Frosty mods work is not a difficult thing to do, but when you're in the middle of streaming or you need to change stuff out on the fly, it can get a little cumbersome. So as it stands right now, I am only using the .dai mods, so that is what all of these will be. Now, up first, we have a mod called Seasonal Palettes. And now remember, I said that this was character customization, not just character creation. So I am including the Seasonal Palettes mod in here. What it does is it adjusts the tint of crafting materials to suit a particular seasonal color palette. I myself am using the Dark Winter one. There are quite a few actually on the website, or on the Nexus listing. They've got autumn, a dark autumn, a winter, a dark winter, a summer, a spring, as well as a Valentine's Day palette. So there's pretty much something for everybody. And what I like most about this is that it definitely can change the tonality to a playthrough based off of what your outfits look like. So for me, I really wanted Mari's character to almost have that like pure kind of white color palette to her outfits. Because she's a mage, I wanted to go for something almost like what you'd expect, which is somebody that looks like they'd be kind of quiet and sheltered and having lived in the tower their whole life. But then when you start talking to her, she's not at all like that. She's super sassy, everything like that. So I do like that I was able to play off of that based off of the Seasonal Palette mod. And then the other thing is she is going to be romancing Cullen, and he has a mod that changes all of his armor to be super, super, super dark, and it looks really good on him. So I also like how when they're standing next to each other, they're complete opposites, because they are actually complete opposites as far as the story goes. Anyway, she's a mage, he's an ex-Templar, so on and so forth. So I like that I'm able to play off of all of this, and just through the outfits alone, tell a unique story within the Inquisition. Now, the next mod I have for you is called SOS Brows on Fleek. It is currently my favorite brow mod. I also really like the Cetra brow mod, and I will link that in the description down below as well in case you'd like to see a different option. Now, what I really like about the Brows on Fleek mod is that they come in both a basic as well as a sparse version, so that way you can kind of play around with the intensity of the brow. But all of the brows are hand-drawn, so like each of the hairs have been hand-drawn on to make them a little bit more pronounced. I think that they look beautiful. They also screenshot beautifully. So if you're somebody that's super into getting screenshots, whether in cutscenes or using the cinematic tools, they're gonna look fantastic. I do like that there is a wide array of types of brows, and there's pretty much something for everybody in there. So I'd highly suggest checking that one out. Now, next up, we have the 2 mods, and they do very similar things. So we're doing a 2-for-1 special kind of thing. Up first is SK's hair retexture. It's actually Trespassers compatible. It has 2 different versions, one being a realistic and the other being a smooth hair texture version. I personally am using the realistic version, and it's also going to apply to beards and mustaches. Now, this hair retexture will also apply to vanilla hairstyles as well as most .dai mod hairstyles. I love the dimension that this hair retexture adds in. It just makes the hair look, well, realistic and way better than the vanilla. You do also want to make sure, though, whenever you are working with mods especially modded hair or hair textures or anything like that in Dragon Age, that you have your meshes set to ultra, so then that way you can actually see what the new hair texture and in some cases the new hairstyles will look like. Now, after the hair retexture, we have a scalp retexture mod also by the same mod author. Now, this is an optional file that's located in the hair pack mod. I love the way that the scalp looks in this. I think the texture looks a lot better than vanilla, and it also raises up the sideburns so it doesn't look quite as awkward with a lot of different modded hairstyles. And it also just overall, if you're going to be doing any kind of shaved either sides or just overall shaved head style, it looks a lot better and more polished, and definitely going to work with a wide array of different hair colors. Now, an important thing to note is if you are using the Frosty mods and .dai mods and you choose to use one of the newer Frosty hairstyles, you don't want to use either of these two retexture mods. The new Frosty hairstyle mods come with their own retexture and they don't play well together with the other mods, so make sure that you bear that in mind when you start using them. Now, the next mod I have for you is called a Corix Freckle Edit. I am obsessed with this mod. I've been using it for such a long time. It is utterly stunning. This mod is going to edit the freckle overlay. So it's not just it's not a freckled face texture. It is literally the freckle texture that is in the game. If you go past in the character creator the initial set of skin options that you have, you'll see that you also have a set that have freckles on them. Now, this mod just replaces those freckles, so you'll actually see it altered on somebody like Lace Harding. She has that face texture, the freckle overlay rather, and this will actually alter it on her. It looks stunning. It looks so natural, and it's not too harsh, and it blends into the skin really nicely. And I find that this works really, really well with a wide variety of a face retexture mods. So if you are going to be using any kind of different skin for your Inquisitor, this will blend with it beautifully. This does work male and female and on elf, human, and dwarf, so feel free to use it on anybody, and it will alter any NPC that uses the texture as well. This next mod comes as no surprise if you've seen my last DAI modding video. It is the Enhanced Inquisitor sliders. I am obsessed with this mod. I have an entire detailed walkthrough of it, and I will link it in the description down below. I love being able to customize my hair colors so beautifully and to exactly to what I want. You can also customize things like the scalp color and then also the eyebrow color, as well as even your eyelash color. There is so much there. And if you're using Frosty mods as opposed to the .dai mod version, there's even more available to you as the mod's been expanded since I originally started using it. So I'd highly suggest checking it out. Now, last but not least, we have Kitten Tail's makeup mod. Now, it's listed in the Kitten's Inquisitor Complexions mod, and it is a download within the files. What this does is it really cleans up the makeup placement overall. It removes the blush as well as the under eye, and it just really cleans up the makeup around the eye. The eyeliner looks a lot better. The eyeshadow also looks a lot better as far as placement goes. So if you're somebody that struggles with makeup, it could just be that you need a makeup mod to help with the placement a little bit better, so I'd highly suggest checking this one out. As promised, here are the mods that Mari is using in specific. Now, she is using everything that I've just mentioned, and as a heads up, the mods going forward for what she's using are only for human female characters. She is to start using the Pajamas for Human Female mod, and in specific, she's using the Sarah armor with over the knee boots. And if you are wondering, her armor does look, or her jammies rather, do look a little bit different than it does on the Nexus listing, and that is because of the seasonal palette mod. Now, she's also using Sarah's breeches, which allow her to wear Sarah's armor, which is why her armors look so different than anybody else's. Outside of Sarah, of course. Her skin texture is called Octavia's skin texture, and it is from the EXO Warpaint mod. And then lastly, she's using a ponytail with braids from the SK hair pack, which is actually where you will also be getting the hair or the scalp retexture mod. So that's all available within the same mod. However, there are a few mods that didn't get to make the list, like the Scar retexture mod that I use, as well as the eye retexture mod that I always use. They are currently no longer available to download. However, if you are interested in an eye retexture mod, there are a wide variety of them available, and there is actually one available by the same mod author that made the one that I'm using, and I will link that in the description down below just in case you're interested. But that's it, y'all. Those are my favorite character customization mods to date. I do love the character customization availabilities within Dragon Age, and I spend quite a bit of time in the character creator. I can't lie, it's one of my favorite things. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments down below or find me on Twitch. I'm always happy to help when and where I can. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your night and or day, depending on where you are in the world, and I will catch you next time. Bye, guys.